Okay, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Okay, now, okay, technical when you have extra plugins, things don't come out right. But pray again. Dear God, I sit before you to speak, that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. You don't until your well runs dry is one of my phrases. Also, another one of my phrases, the main one is beauty's only skin, but ugly is to the bone. And I'm sure you remember those songs, those groups, you don't mix your water till your well runs dry, beauty's only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone. But these phrases have legitimate reasons. Oh yes, they do. And so as I was looking and researching, they they say Dorothy Parker quotes, "Beauty is only beauty beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone." And here it is. I hear this comment about that, and I want to read that to you. I hope your day is going very well. I am happy, happy, happy to be alive and well today. It could have been another way, but it's not. Thanks be to God. He has blessed us to be here one more time on this Thursday, which is the 5th of February in the year 2026. And the quote, beauty is only skin deep. This is Bing.com. And this is Dorothy Parker. The quote, beauty is only skin deep, but ugly goes clean to the bone, is attributed to Dorothy Parker, a renowned writer known for her wit. This saying suggests that while outward beauty is superficial and can fade, a person's negative traits, such as cruelty or mean spirit, are more deeply ingrained and significant. It emphasizes the idea. Let me get my mouse are going here so many times when one thing happens, it's connected to something else, and it might not be connected, but it might not do what it's supposed to do when it's supposed to do it. Okay, a person's negative traits, such as cruelty or a mean spirit, are more deeply ingrained and significant. It emphasizes the idea that true beauty comes from within, and negative characteristics can make a person truly ugly, regardless of their physical appearance. Oh my goodness, that is so true. So true. And then we have other things about it. Quote, origin, beauty is only skin deep, but ugly goes to the bone. And this is talking about quote research, and this is September 25th, 2020, and it goes back to Dorothy Parker, Jean Kerr, Charles Whitehead, Simon Shuggs Jr., Sam Stackpole, Abe Martin, Kim Hubbard, Herbert Spencer, Mort Walker, Anonymous. So there are other people's names they have in here. But there's a question, is this the one? Is that the one? Who started this quote? Who created this quote? Beauty is only skin deep, according to an adage that can be traced back to the 1600s. You hear that? It can be traced back to the 1600s. And remember, we talked about on Greater Gospel Temple and Inspiration of God Memories when Ecclesiastes says nothing is new under the sun. So it says that this quote can be traced back to the 1600s. The meaning of it, this assertion has inspired a wide variety of twisted reactions and elaborations. So here are three closely related instances. Beauty is only skin deep, but ugliness goes to the bone. Next, beauty is only skin deep and ugly goes clear to the bone. Then there's the other one. Beauty is only skin deep, but ugly goes clean through. And then we know that group that sings that beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone. So that's another one. We can put number 4 on there, okay? So this might have has this insight has often been attributed to the prominent wit Dorothy Parker. And so they're asking you to please examine these quotes. And other people have uh, replied, and this quote investigator says in 1824, American farmer of Baltimore, Maryland published a piece by a backwoodsman about a fictional court case. An instance of the adage appeared together with the phrases trite saying, and I have heard it said, signaling familiarity and anonymity, boldface added to the excerpts by QI. So they're saying that even though they're attributed to one person, it could have been said before that person. So who can really tell? So it is a true and trite saying that beauty is but skin deep. Yet I have heard it said that ugly goes to the bone. And then this contributor says, I am sure there is nothing in his doctrine so beautiful as to prevent its penetrating even to the marrow. And it says Dorothy Parker died in 1967, and the earliest linkage known as QI between Dorothy Parker and the saying occurred in 1977. So it said this evidence was not substantive, and QI believes that the attribution to Parker is currently unsupported. And then we go below, we say there are additional related citations in chronological order. In 1829, a newspaper in Exeter, England, printed an anonymous short term and a short item containing a partial syntactic match for the saying. However, the semantics were different. Okay, so it says beauty is but skin deep. Quoth an old maid who had no pretensions to it, and so is ugliness, replied a young lady who had no pretensions to that. In 1840, 1840, a collection of essays and illustrations titled Heads of the People or Portraits of the English was published in London. The piece, Tavern Hands, by Charles Whitehead, included a dialogue containing the twisted adage, when beauty was shared, I was behind the door and my portion came through the keyhole. I'm sure, but beauty is only skin deep after all, they say. But ugliness goes to the bone, they say also, remarked Mrs. Chatham, laughing. Ah, Susan, you're a sly girl. That is neat. Beauty is only skin deep. Beauty is only skin deep, and that has a deep meaning for all of us. There's so many people who have beautiful physical appearances, and you can look at them and you see them, and but when they open their mouth, it takes away the beautiful appearance. The outward beauty fades into the background when the inner ugliness climbs to the outside. There are so many things that go on through this. Beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone. We can have so many talents and gifts, so many things we can do, but the attitude in which we do them speaks volumes, speaks volumes. Oh, yes, it does. Beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone. And then I want to go to this quote, you don't miss your water until your well runs dry. And I had put that in, so let me see if I can pull that up. These are quotes that mean so much in life. And I think about they coincide really with the scripture in Ecclesiastes. He talks about so much, so much. They say it's the preacher. Let me pull this up. You don't miss your water until your well runs dry. We remember that song? You don't miss your water till your well runs dry. And that's talking about when people in that side, it was kind of like a love song, or like Otis Redding had the Just Don't Miss Your Water. And it's kind of like, yeah, now, now that this love you have is gone, now you understand. You misused and abused when you had it, but now that it's gone and you miss it. And then, like if the brook runs dry, all that water that was in the brook, in the pond, and the pond went dry, hey, you didn't miss it until it was all gone. So the phrase, you don't miss your water, this is Bing.com, until your well runs dry, means that people often take things for granted until they are no longer available. This idiom emphasizes the importance of appreciating what you have before it's gone. It's also the title of a song originally recorded by William Bell and later covered by Otis Redding, which reflects similar themes of loss and regret. You don't miss your water until your well runs dry. And if you want to hear those songs, hey, you can go to Otis Redding or William Bell. And I want to find something that elaborates this, because there's so much that can be said about this. People take people for granted. We as a human race take other people for granted. We don't think about, hey, maybe one day you won't have the opportunity to speak with this person, or to compliment this person, or be this person's friend. Many times we don't think about that until it's over. And I think about people who are partners, who are uh, companions with each other, and in relationships, love relationships, and we say marriage, married to each other, and they misuse and abuse each other. And I don't think they think about the fact that one day somebody's not going to be around. Somebody's not going to be around. They don't think about that. And I'm going back to a video that I saw. A son had publicized a video of his mother and father in the car with him, and they were cussing, and I mean cussing each other and saying mean, terrible, terrible, terrible things about each other, but yet they were still together. And I'm thinking, even though if they were not together, it would still be terrible to me. But them being together and treating each other like that and saying all kinds of awful, terrible, profane things to each other. And that was many years ago that I saw this video that I'm talking about, and it still bothers me today. So, and I tell people when you're in relationships, first of all, if you don't mean any good for the person, just leave the person alone. And if you get into a relationship with the person, then you find that this is not what you want, then bow out gracefully. I know many times people don't want people to bow out gracefully. They don't want the relationship to be over. But I'm telling you, there are wise ways to do it, and you have to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves in order to have peace. Because it's just really terrible when you fuss and fight each other and you're living in the same home, the same residence. It's a terrible thing. And you don't like each other. You don't think you like each other. And you demean each other, don't respect each other. That's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. And sometimes it's one-sided of a person that decided that they don't love the person anymore, or they never did love the person. They don't want to be with the person, but they won't leave. And then all of this confusion is in there. So, and then many times when they do separate, get away from each other, then one party or both realize that I had a good person, that I realized that I really loved this person. But then you've gone your separate ways. One has gone the other way, and the other might want to make amends. And then that's where it comes in. I had a good person in my life, and now I can't have that person anymore. So this song and this phrase said, you don't miss what you have until it's gone. You don't miss what you have until it's gone. And there are questions on here. Can a water well run dry? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. You'll never miss the water till the well runs dry. And I want to go to this Irish American mom site and see what she says about that. You'll never miss the water till the well runs dry. And let me get into and see what she is saying. I was thinking about that. There's so many things that come through our minds that it is good to share with others because people are thinking the same thing, thinking along the same lines. And well, I was thinking about that the other day. So here we go. We don't appreciate what we have until it's gone. And that's so many times. And I remember uh, Elder Davis was telling me a story about that he knows about a man that was so mean to his wife. So mean to his wife. And then After she transitioned, and after a while, he admitted, and he was so sorry that he had mistreated her when he saw life in another light. And he talked about it. I regret that I did not treat my wife kind and with love and compassion and tenderness. I regret that I was such a mean, low-down scoundrel. He didn't say it like that, but I did. But the Lord saved him, but it was after she was gone. And that's when he was regretful. So many people have that experience in life. So many things go on. Many times we don't understand what's going on at the time it's going on. We don't understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, because when we're younger, we're trying to make it through life. And even some old people haven't learned yet how to do the right thing, or they might have learned and they won't practice it just because they want. What is that? Beauty's only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone. And some people are ugly inside until they take their last breath. We don't appreciate what we have until it's gone. And it said that this is an old Irish saying, and I'm pretty sure we can have some debate on that too from other people. But this is from the Irish American mom, and we're going to delve into what she has to say about it, okay? You'll never miss the water till the well runs dry is one of those sayings that hits you right in the tea and toast because it speaks to a truth we've all lived through or truly appreciate something until it's gone. So true. And she goes on to say, be it love, be it health, be it peace and quiet, or the neighbor's Wi-Fi you were secretly using. Once it's gone, you're left staring into the metaphorical empty well, wondering why you did not value it while it lasted. And I remember, I guess people still steal people's STILLSTEAL, people's Wi-Fi. I thought of all these security uh, issues, protections that we have, and maybe they still do it. But I remember when that was a big thing. That was a big thing. So let's put it another way. Let's put it another way. It's as true as the rain on Patty's Day, inevitable and slightly annoying. It's as true as your mother ringing just when you sit down to eat. It never fails. It's as true as a dog showing up when food hits the floor. God bless their timing. What is the meaning? Okay, we're here in Irish American Mom. In plums, it's about taking things for granted. We're talking about you don't miss your water until your well runs dry, okay? And we talk about beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone. And so we will intertwine those and as we go along into this. Okay? So, in plain terms, it's about taking things for granted. But if fresh water from the well, a good friend, a steady job, or even your mother's Sunday roast We often don't realize their value until they're gone. So, be it fresh water, truly, literally, fresh water from the well, a good friend, a steady job, or even your mother's Sunday roast, we often don't realize the value until they're gone. And that is so true. It's only when the well is bone dry and you're grasping or gasping for a drop that you start wishing you'd looked after it better. What is the origin? According to Irish American Mom, she said that this bit of wisdom didn't just drop out of the sky like an Irish drizzle. She said wells were once the lifeline of rural Irish communities, the source of fresh water for cooking, cleaning, and keeping the tea flowing, a matter of national importance. She said, I might add. And so we know here in the United States, same old, cooking, drinking, bathing, washing, whatever water was needed for. And I remember our grandparents had wells dug, or they dug their own wells. I remember drawing water from the well. Grandma and Papa, Daddy's mama and Daddy, they had a well with a pump. And Mother and Mr. Jimmy, my mother's mother and stepfather, they had a well where you let this, and I cannot remember what it is, but it's like a tube, tin tube, and you let it down into the well, and then the water goes into it, and then you pull it back up, and then hold it over a bucket and let the water out into that bucket. And so that was Mom and Mr. Jimmy's Mully and Mr. Jimmy's well. So we had a pump well at Grandma and Papa's in Chapel Hill, and in Ackworth we had the tube. I don't know what you call it. That you put down in the well. It gathers up the water, and then you pull it out with the rope. Well, I used to love that. See, when you don't have to do it all the time, you really like doing it. Because we had running water after we moved to Dennis and everything. Everybody knows that. And so when we went down home, we called it down home. We would love to do things like that because, it was fun to us. And so the tube, I guess you would call it a tube, I'm not sure. But that was Mother and Mr. Jimmy's. And those wells were deep too, really deep. You'll never miss the water until the well runs dry. Old Irish saying. So when a well dried up, it was a calamity of biblical proportions, sending the whole household into a frenzy. And so the phrase was born as a stark reminder to cherish what's keeping you afloat before it disappears. Cherish what keeps you afloat. Oh, yes, until it disappears. And we know there's something that all things must come to an end. All things must come to an end. And we don't know when that end is. So we need to be very careful, very wise, and enjoy what you have while you have it. Be kind to the people. Sometimes people um, make it difficult to be kind to them because they're mean and hateful. Some people are really, really mean and hateful, and you do all you can to try to have a good relationship with them, and they just are awful. And sometimes you don't understand why and how can a person be so mean and so hateful. But then since I've been studying psychology and counseling, I've been doing it like my friend E said. You've been doing it all your life. After I got my certification, she told me you've been doing it all your life. Oh, yes. And psychology, I can understand because many actions from people, they stem from uh, earlier experiences. Many of them do, how they were treated even when they were children, what kind of environment they came up in, and so many things. So when a well dried up, it was a calamity of biblical proportions. I know I'm repeating this, sending the whole household into a frenzy. And so the phrase was born as a stark reminder to cherish what's keeping you afloat before it disappears. Yesterday, I was watching an episode of Gunsmoke where Dodge City had no water, and they were guarding a well, and Marshal Matt Dillon was allowing each person just a certain portion of water. And they were just guarding this well. And so finally, some people decided we're going to take over the well and we're going to get our water. We're going to fill up our canteens and we're going to get out of here. You know, there's always someone, always someone. And desperate measures come from uh, disasters and things. People take desperate measures and they do things that they would not normally do. That's why we have to really, really be careful. We have to check ourselves. We have to work on ourselves. And many times we uh, criticize other people. Well, she did that. When this happened, she did that. And he did that. I never would have done that. How do you know? Until you get into that situation. And many people have had to, as we say, eat their words because they did exactly what they said they would not do. So, getting back to this, talking about when the well ran dry. And so these villains, well, we call them villains, they were desperate people, just like all the rest of the people. So they decided that they were going to take over the well, get that water for themselves, and leave town, no matter how much or if any was left for anybody else. And so Marshall Dillon had people, like I said, guarding this well. And when these people went to rob the well, take over any means necessary through violence, when it came down to it, the well had been dry for years. Marshall Dillon was doing the best that he could, and he was getting the little water that they had and rationing it to keep the people alive. And they discovered that when they went to take over the well. You don't miss your water till your well runs dry. So next she has the life lessons. Listen, now something is what this topic is. She said, mind what you have, whether it's good health, a loving family, or a fine head of hair. Look after it. Nothing lasts forever, except perhaps, she said, an Irish grudge. And that could be any kind of drug from any person, from any country, any heritage, okay? Don't be stingy with gratitude. Tell people you appreciate them before it's too late. A kind word today is better than an apology tomorrow. Have you ever been in a situation where you thought, I could have handled that better? Or I may have misinterpreted what he said or what she said. If I only had a chance to go back and have that conversation again, I would do better. Have you ever thought like that? And then you didn't get a chance to do it? You don't miss your water till your well runs dry. Save for a rainy day, be it money, resources, or energy. Don't wait until you're up the creek without a paddle to wish you'd been smarter. And then here's another look after your blessings. Whether it's a sturdy roof, a warm meal, or a decent pair of shoes, don't take them for granted. Ask anyone who had their umbrella turned inside out in an Irish storm. You'll miss it soon enough. Oh, yes. And not only turn inside out, but it won't stay open. Apply to it to everything. Apply it to everything. That job you moan about, that pub you think is be there, that old friend you keep meaning to call, mind them well because they won't be there forever. And I'm going to add, and neither will you. Okay? So here are her final words in this article. She said, so there you have it. It's a timeless nugget of Irish wisdom wrapped in a bit of, let me get this. Okay, let me go scroll over just a bit so I can get this. She said, all wrapped up. She said, the less stop, why appreciate what you have, and for heaven's sake, don't let the well run dry. And sometimes you can't help it. Literally, if the well runs dry. But before it does run dry, you're looking for a place to dig. Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Irish American mom. All right, that is good. That is good. You don't miss your water till your well runs dry. And can you think of any sayings? I was thinking about, oh, what you see is what you get. You know that song, what you see is what you get. Many times that's true too. And many times it's not. Let's go into that. I just have this thing thinking about all of this. What you see is what you get. You don't miss it till your well runs dry. Those songs had a meaning. And many of them were love songs, but they still had a meaning and a legitimate meaning. There's lessons in all of them in every aspect of life. So WISIWYG, what you see is what you get. And this is my co-pilot, and this is being.com. The phrase what you see is what you get, often abbreviated WISIWYG. The acronym means that things are exactly as they appear, with no hidden complexities or unseen aspects. It emphasizes honesty and transparency in various contexts, from everyday interactions to digital interfaces. The term is commonly used in computing to describe user interfaces and display content as it will happen when printed or published. And the term is commonly, and maybe it is, but this term has been around a long time before we even got deeply involved in the computer world. It's been around a long time. Oh, yes. What you see is what you get. And sure we have great articles on there because we've said it too. Say, well, this and that and the other. What you see is what you get. None other. What you see, you get. And then in that song, you can go to that song and hear it. I'm not going to try to quote the song, but it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Here I am. Hey, I'm representing who I am. I'm here, no other. So, what you see is what you get. So, if you're looking for something else, you won't find it here. Only what you see in front of you is what you get. So, if you want something else, you have to go somewhere else. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Let me see this. I'm going to go to these lyrics because many of us who used to go out and be out there on the dance floor back yonder in yonder days. This is one of the songs that we dance to that we like. Oh, and this is one by Tina Turner, but there's another group that sings this. A group. Okay, this is Tina Turner's version. What you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. And then she does that 4 times in this. Then she says, yeah, oh yes. Some boys just got the look of a Greek Adonis, and some boys just try to talk you off your feet. Some boys think they're God's gift to woman, and some boys just think they're sweet enough to treat. Well, that's to eat. Okay, sweet enough to eat. We've heard that phrase over and over and over again. I'm so sweet. I'm just good enough to eat. I taste like candy, cake, whatever you want me to taste like. I'm just that sweet. Try to change the habit of a lifetime. Don't even try. Because when you cut down deeper than the icing, you realize what you get is what you see. Ain't nothing more to it. If you want to love a woman like me, it takes a man to do it. If what you get is what you see, then don't want your kind of love. Some guys just, um, okay, got lips you can't help kissing. And some guys just got a smile you can't resist. Some guys just got to build a reputation. They just want to add you to their list. I'm glad I kept reading that. You got a lot of physical attraction, I can't deny, but can you guarantee me satisfaction? And then she says, I'm still waiting, 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 waiting. What you get is what you see. Ain't nothing more to it. And if you want a woman like me, it takes a man. If what you get is what you see, then I don't want your kind of love. No, no, no. So let me see your cards on the table. Before I buy, I always read the writing on the label. So give me a reason to believe there's more to you than meets the eye. What you get is what you see. Ain't nothing more to it. And if you want a woman like me, it takes a man to do it. If what you get is what you see, I don't want your kind of love. No. And then she goes, more. What you see. But then there's that song, and I want to say, I don't know whether it's a stylistics. I don't know. I might have the wrong group. But that song, what you see is what you get. And that's the Tina Turner. But that other one, what you see. And it keeps on with that, and I don't want that. Okay. Now, there was one more that I had in mind, and I didn't get to my tab in time to write it down. But you don't miss your water till your well runs dry. So remember to treat others the way you would like to be treated. And I don't think anybody wants anyone to be mean and hateful to them. Not really. Not really. And then being kind, taking care of your business, of whatever aspect there is in your business, your life. From this day forward, let's take care of your life, my life. Let's take care of the necessary things. Let's be kind if we're not already. And then if we see where we can be kinder, we could be more compassionate. We could be more loving within reason. Let's do that. We don't know where we're going from here. And there's that song, where do we go from here? We don't know who we'll meet. We don't know who will leave us in the land of the living. Well, we say land of the living. Who will leave us through death? Sometimes sickness separates people, depending on the sickness, the degree of sickness. There are all kinds of things that can happen that will make us think. You don't miss your water until your well runs dry. And then there are people that we might criticize, or that when we see who they really are, then hey, it depends on you if it'd be beneficial to keep that acquaintance, that relationship, or back off, or make it a more relationship, because what you see is what you get. And then, like I said, there could be another twist of that. Many times we misinterpret things. We'll see something, and to us, it looks like one thing, but it's actually something else. What you see is what you get, and that's not always true. But then that's where you have to have a sharp, sound mind, and you have to be fair and honest in interpreting things, because many times what you see is what you get, and then many times that you saw is not what you think you saw as you interpreted it. Life is beautiful. Life is wonderful. But through our lives, we have to first be sound in our minds, be prepared or to give the benefit of a doubt, then we also have to be sharp enough and wise enough, keen enough to hear our inner mind telling us uh-uh or yes, no or yes. We have to listen to our minds. We have survival instincts. We have in us the fight or flight. We have to know, and we have to sharpen these skills, the emotions, and everything. But always remember to be fair and honest. You can be fair and honest when you're fleeing the scene. You can be fair and honest when you make yourself scarce. Oh, yes, you can. Wisdom is very, very, very precious. And if you don't think you have enough of it, ask God, the God of the universe, the true and living God that I believe in. If you don't believe in him, then stand on what I believe in, and I'll help lift you up, because he will give you what you need at the exact time that you need it. Why is it that at a certain time you felt something, or you say, something told me to move, and you moved, and something might have fallen over, a car might have come by if you were out in the street or in the public, anything could have happened, and you heard a voice, or you had a feeling, move, and you moved and were safe. This is really something that I was thinking about. Things go through my mind just like they do yours. And I will never be able to cover all of the things that go through my mind. But the things that do come to mind, I like to share those. Beauty is only skin deep. Beauty. But ugly is to the bone. Your outer appearance can show so much. You can have glistening white apparel on with, sequins or glitter or all kinds of beautiful things that are shining and glistening, and you look so good and pure on the outside, but on the inside, there is meanness. And some people realize that they do have this. And those who might be listening, who are listening wherever, whenever, if you know that there is a mean streak in you, if you know that you are not treating yourself, your property, or other people as they should be treated, this is so much. So take a deep inventory of yourself. And when you dig down in there, like all of us do, if we will be honest with ourselves, we'll find things in there that are disturbing to us, because this is human nature. And so what we do is we practice doing better. We ask God to give us a clean thought process and work on it. Okay? I love you so much, and I thank you for being here. You don't miss your water until your well runs dry. Beauty is only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone. What you see many times is what you get. And sometimes that you see is not what you get, because it could be interpreted in a way that is not agreeable with what it really is. I love you so much. Enjoy the remainder of your day. Please join us tomorrow for the Mother's Board Inc. Dr. JJ McCollister and myself. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Please share this video. I will have other phrases that I want to talk about, but those started out good. I love you.